School District. We've been doing this since 1975. At the same time, we also began recognizing students in the intermediate schools, the junior highs, with service above self awards. And they, the top student at each junior high receives a $50 check, but no other cash. Not like the seniors that get scholarship awards. In the past 40 years, we've conducted over 4,000 interviews with students trying to find those who exemplify service above self. And we have awarded on behalf of the members of this club and the Salt Lake Rotary Foundation over 620 college scholarships, totaling over $440,000. And those awards, as you know, go to deserving students who demonstrated their commitment to serving others. In 2014, last year, we awarded a $2,000 scholarship to not only a first-generation college student, which I know many of you in this room are, but was the first in her family to graduate from high school. This lady was accepted to Dartmouth, and along with our scholarship and a financial aid package from Dartmouth, was able to go there for 4 years on a full ride and did not have to worry about paying for tuition. And she is just one of the many exemplary Utah students who we awarded scholarship funds to every year. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to this year's recipients. In the interest of time, I'm going to announce the names of, I will not be announcing the names of the guests of our recipients or the administrators from each school, but please know that we are so excited to have parents and grandparents and principals and scholarship coordinators with us here today. As I read the name of the students, I'm going to ask the students to stand, and then I'm going to ask everyone to hold their applause until I finish announcing all the students. So, and I'm going to apologize right now for mispronouncing names, and there are a couple that have given me sleepless nights, and you'll know when I get to them. V. Ho for the Academy for Math, Engineering, and Science, Julie Tang with the Academy for Math, Engineering, and Science, Jeremy Ensign with East High, Emma Gleave with East High, Michelle No with East High, Dorothy Smith with Highland High, Zach Tucker with Highland High, Calvin Cook with Highland High, Estefan Medina with Horizonte, Jonathan Sanchez Valdez with Horizonte, Sia Sawana Ofa? Yeah. And I'm going to have her, when she is the speaker from Horizonte, I'm going to have her say her whole name when she comes up to speak, because it is a beautiful name. I'm not even going to try to say the last name because I don't want to mispronounce it. Gabby Paul with Judge, Allison Whitty with Judge, Sophia Deal with Roland Hall, Abigail Hill with Roland Hall. Zach Leventhal is not able to be here, but his dad is here, Michael Leventhal with Roland Hall. Victoria Milan with Salt Lake Center for Science Education, Erica Velasquez with Salt Lake Center for Science Education. She has taken an AP calculus test, and bless her heart, will be here when she gets here. And Ocean, I want to make sure to say her last name correctly. Candler, Ocean Candler with Salt Lake School for the Performing Arts. Ben Cortez with Salt Lake School for the Performing Arts, Eliza Assay with West High, and Joseph McConkey with West High. And now we can congratulate. Thank you guys. You can be seated. So now we're going to proceed in alphabetical order by the name of the school with our speakers. Each school has a speaker who will speak for about 2 to 3 minutes on the meaning of the scholarship and what service means to them in their lives, and how they plan to, continue serving in the future. So we're going to start with the Academy for Math, Engineering, and Science with V. So V, if you could come up, please.
Hello. Hello. Whoa. This is okay. Anyway. Hi. Hi, my name is V Ho, and I am currently a senior attending the Academy for Math, Engineering, and Science. I want to first start off by saying thank you. Thank you so much for believing in my abilities and for choosing me to receive this scholarship. It means the world to me, and I could not be more grateful. As a first-generation college student, I've always understood the value of a college education. Both of my parents immigrated from Vietnam with very little education or opportunity. Growing up hearing about their struggles, we view education as something precious, a transformative vehicle to accomplish change. It meant creating a better life for my family. It meant having the freedom and opportunities to explore the world through education, to engage in my passions, and to grow as a person. That is why receiving this scholarship has given my life so much enrichment. To me, service has always been a form of empowerment. It is the simple act of caring, of having the desire to make a change in someone's life. Instead of being a helpless bystander to the problems I see in the world, service has helped me realize the power I have as an individual to create change. It has empowered me to nurture the resources and abilities I have to address the problems I care about. Above all, service has a profound effect on me because it creates meaning in my life. I find so much happiness in giving to others because I know it means I'm giving someone a voice, lessening their suffering, helping them find a brighter path in life. Service holds value and fulfillment because I know I'm making a difference. As I move on to my next adventure in college, anyway. I know that I will continue to actively serve my community. I specifically would like to learn more about public health and poverty from a global perspective, as a way to better service those in need. But most importantly, I want to continually challenge myself to learn and grow, to practice compassion and empathy in my everyday life. I believe that it is the small acts of kindness, the little things, that will ultimately make the world a better place. Every day I'm learning more and more about what it means to service others, and I know that I will strive to do so for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vee. And now we're going to hear from Michelle Go from East High.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle No, and I am a senior at East High School. I just want to start off with saying how service is so unique in the form that it's universal. Anyone in the world, anyone out there can do service out of the goodness of their hearts. The ones that take out the time to do it, however, we usually see how impactful these kinds of projects can be. Unfortunately, not too many people can see how these gestures influence the community and how it can increase the growth. Volunteer work has been a big aspect of my life. It has helped me appreciate volunteering on a more personal level. What's so important about Rotary is that it not only focuses on local projects, but also expands internationally with foreign connections. From planting trees in the neighborhood to raising awareness for different diseases in multiple countries and taking it back home to the original country. All in all, though, service is putting out a helping hand with good intentions. Receiving the scholarship further proves to me what good can come out of good service and the rewards that can be given to through doing so later on in life. And to think that I had already been paid back, so to say, through the joy it brings me in providing my community with service. I hope to further my experience in volunteer work and service in college by finding multiple projects out there, whether it involves people in my community or expanding my horizons and going an extra mile to look through global projects. I'm grateful to have been chosen for the scholarship and congratulate my fellow recipients. I'd also like to thank everyone who has shown how rewarding service work is. And I'm excited to see what Rotary Club and other service clubs have to offer in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. And now we're going to hear from Dorothy Smith from Highland Park. Where's Dorothy? There she is.
Hello, my name is Dorothy Smith. I'm a senior at Highland High School, and from a young age, service has been implemented in my life. My mother has shown me the importance of service by orchestrating a college-bound program at Highland High School where students are given an extra chance at attending college. At Highland, 40% of the students qualify for free or reduced lunch. It is extremely difficult for the majority of students to take the ACT more than once, which puts them at an unfair disadvantage. Through an ACT prep course, students are better prepared and more confident in their abilities to do well on the test. I have had the opportunity to help students get involved and view college as something that is obtainable and doable. Students that graduate from college earn twice as much as those who don't. I hope I'll be able to continue to help others realize the importance of higher education. This past year, I had the amazing opportunity to travel to the northern regions of India and teach children in impoverished schools basic English and typing skills. In order to take this experience, I had to raise nearly $4,000 on my own. There was one day when I was aerating lawns and helping my dad in the pouring rain. As the day wore on, it started to hail and eventually snow. I told myself that I remember this day forever and would reflect back upon when I was in India and determine if it had really been worth it. Walking into the village on my first day, it became clear that I would have aerated 10,000 more lawns and I could have stayed with the school children longer. I was shocked when I first saw the way these people live. I was immediately overcome with guilt for my lifestyle and felt like I would never be able to impact someone's life. One of my favorite quotes from Angelina Jolie kept repeating in my mind for the whole time that I was in India. She said she isn't sure why she was born into the world she was born into or why others were as fortunate as herself. I believe that no matter what our situation, we can all recognize the needs of others and do whatever we can to impact others' current situations. This is exactly what I have tried to do with service. Service does not have to be an elaborate humanitarian trip. It is recognizing others' needs and providing the necessary help and love others deserve. This scholarship has had a tremendous impact on my life, and I cannot make the Rotary Club as solid enough. I have been able to be on the recipient end of service by receiving the support and amazed at the generosity shown, and will eternally be grateful for this scholarship opportunity. The motto of the school I will be attending this fall is "Come to learn, go to serve," and I cannot think of a better way to encompass both education and service together. I look forward to continuing my service career and hoping to end up in India soon. Thank you.
The students are amazing. Every year I sit here and think, I was not like this at 18. They're absolutely amazing. Dorothy, what school are you attending? What's the motto? What school's motto? BYU. Awesome. That's great. Okay, I've been practicing. Okay, next up is Siosiana Ofa, and then she's going to say her last name from Horizonte.
Hi, my name is Siosiana Ofa Tuigo. I'm a senior at Horizonte. I'm so grateful for the scholarship and for the opportunity to speak today. I have had many experiences with service, but one experience stands out in my mind as a turning point in my life. This experience taught me that simple things can have a big impact in someone's life. I was 17 and I was struggling myself with the recent death of my mother. I attended a military youth academy and our platoon went to serve lunch to a group of troubled youth. Honestly, I didn't want to go. I was afraid of the situation and still dealing with my feelings about my mother, but I went anyway. While I was serving lunch, one of the boys caught my eyes. He reminded me of my brother. My brother had gotten himself in a lot of trouble as a teen, but had been able to turn his life around. I went over to talk to this boy. He didn't want to talk to me at first. He asked me why I cared, and I told him honestly, I don't even know him, but that he reminded me of my brother. He asked about my brother, and I told him how he had been involved in gangs and drugs, but had found a way out through the military. We talked for a while, and I expressed to him that he didn't have to go down this road, that there was a way out. He told me he didn't see any way out, and so I talked to my platoon leader, and they were able to continue to reach out to him. He opened to them and began to make some changes in his life. Last year, my platoon leader called me to let me know that this boy had graduated high school and was in basic training for National Guard. This gave me a lot of joy. What I did that day was not anything amazing. I didn't have counseling skills or any great plan of action. I simply put myself out there and showed someone that I cared. Perhaps he saw a glimmer of hope that day that allowed him to begin to change his life. This experience changed my life. I realized that our connection to each other is a powerful thing. I want to make service a part of my life. I want to use my education to put me in a position to serve others every day. When we were growing up, my parents separated and my mom took care of us 6 kids the best she could. She worked 2 jobs and sometimes more than 12 hours a day and still had time to be both mother and father to my 5 brothers and I. She never complained or showed us that we were struggling. We weren't the richest family. We moved from house to house to house, but we didn't know we were struggling because my mom kept us happy and safe. When she passed away, it left a huge hole in my life, but also a huge desire to continue my education, to work as hard, to make a good life for my future family, and to make the world a better place. Sometimes I feel like giving up, but my mother's example keeps me going. I also want to thank my aunt who took us in when my mom died. She has helped me so much. I know she has her own struggles and her own pain, but she has treated me as her own daughter. She continued loving me when my mom left, and I want to thank her. Receiving this scholarship will help me achieve the goals I have set for myself. I am excited to start on this journey, and I want to someday be a pediatrician and help children. I know it is a long road, but I feel like I have gained the strength, and I have wonderful people in my life to support me. I appreciate so much your willingness to trust me with this money, and I will use it wisely to make myself into someone who can really make a difference in the lives of others. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're going to hear from Gabby Paul from church.
Hi, my name is Gabby Paul, and I'm a senior at George Memorial Catholic High School. I am incredibly honored to be here with all of you today. I would like to thank Rotary for the Service Above Self Scholarship. I'm so grateful to be chosen as one of the recipients of this amazing scholarship, and I feel so honored to be included with these other students. Through this scholarship application process, I have come to know Rotary as an extraordinary foundation, providing service to others, advancing world understanding, goodwill, and peace. I hope that I too can follow the mission of the Rotary and contribute as meaningfully to others as Rotary has for so many. Service has always been an important part of my life. When I was 5 years old, I remember noticing that my 2-year-old neighbor was challenged with developmental disorders. I later found out that she was affected with autism. As I came to better understand what autism means for the individuals and families touched by it, I wanted to share my abilities with these children. My empathy led me to volunteer during middle school at the Children's Center, which is a treatment facility for children with autism and other developmental disorders. There, I saw firsthand how people like me could positively impact these children's lives. During high school, I was able to provide beneficial services to children with autism by founding a nonprofit organization called Elijah's Friends. Through research, I found that tennis can help children with autism improve their self-confidence and communication. Elijah's Friends was able to provide tennis lessons to children with autism, and these collective experiences helped convert my passion into a service-abiding commitment. This scholarship will give me the opportunity to take my experiences to college while easing some of the financial burden.
I plan on continuing to follow my passion of helping others enjoy doing what I love best to the best of my abilities. Rotary International is such a wonderful example for me to follow in my life. I plan to continue to use my talents to positively impact lives affected with autism and other developmental disorders. I hope to advance autism awareness, and I cannot adequately express how appreciative I am for this scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabby. And now we're going to hear from Sophia Deal from Roland Hall.
I like to meet people where they are. My favorite quote about service comes from the writer Ron Goss when he said, "We're all just walking each other home." I love the feeling of walking with a friend, feeling the same path under our feet, sheltering each other from the wind on either side. But my first experience of service came from dancing alongside someone. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to volunteer in a Dancers with Disabilities summer camp. I worked with a 4-year-old girl named Audrey, who didn't have the use of her legs. At the beginning of the week, Audrey told me, "I can dance, I just need a little help." "Me too," I said. The two of us danced together all week, with me holding her up and Audrey doing everything else. In these moments together, service occurred because rather than our time being defined by Audrey's feeble legs and my able ones, it became about both of us seeing our vulnerabilities. While Audrey needed my physical support, I needed to witness her freedom in dancing despite her limitations, confronting my own flawed ideas around beauty and perfection. We gave each other what we needed in the moment. My second experience of service came last year when I helped in a dance collaboration at our school homes with local refugee students. I mostly worked with a group of young girls that had the same love of dance and color and music that I did when I was 10, except they had very different stories from mine. At first, I felt lost. I didn't know the diverse stories of the students in the class, or understand the languages they spoke, or even recognize the names of some of the places that they came from. The more we danced together each Friday afternoon, the less these things mattered. We had fun, we made up dances, and we built some trust. We performed our final dance one evening in Roland Hall's auditorium. The dance was a little messy, disorganized, and our costumes were $5 t-shirts, some with the size stickers still attached. It was a great show, and exactly the kind of humanity that we need to see sometimes. I walked all my new friends out to the bus that night, and they told me they would miss dancing with me, and I squeezed each of their hands to the bus window right before they drove home. These last moments of connection that we shared were where the service really happened. Usually service happens right in the midst of my routine days. Recently, I was having a conversation with a friend about a difficult family situation she's going through. When I expressed a lots of advice to give her, she told me, "It's okay, it's just nice to feel loved." In this moment, service happened. I gave my friend the feeling of acceptance by listening to her, and she gave me the gift of knowing that I didn't need to have words or answers, that just my presence was enough to make her feel loved and cared for in the moment. Sometimes we lose the gift of service when we refer to the people we serve with phrases such as the less fortunate, the underprivileged, and the vulnerable. We see ourselves as people who have something more or better to offer and miss out on the gifts that we need to receive. For me, service starts by acknowledging what I don't have and what I can't do. I can't restore Audrey's use of her legs, or alter the challenges that the girls will face living as refugees in a new country, or fix the situation that my friend finds her family in. But I can acknowledge that I also have felt like I can't stand up on my own, or don't know how to respond to a new place, or have no control in a frustrating situation. This is what it means for me to walk alongside people, to feel the same path under our feet, and to choose to keep going together. In the future, I have dreamed about working in arts and therapy for people with disabilities, sharing my passion for dance with people of all kinds. But life is unpredictable, and my only certainty is that I'll continue to walk or dance alongside people and show up for them in whatever ways I can. Thank you to the entire Rotary Club for providing this scholarship and affirming me that other students from Roland Hall with the same commitment to service that we have. This award is a gift to us and all of our families as we go off to college and continuing service this fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. And now we're going to hear from Victoria Milan from the Salt Lake Center for Science Education. Victoria.
Hi, my name is Victoria Milan. I'm a senior at the Salt Lake Center for Science Education. I'd like to start by first thanking you so much for your generosity. Service to me is a way not to help only others, but myself as well. It fulfills me to lessen the suffering others experience today that I once had to endure myself. This scholarship has a very positive impact on my life. In my opinion, education is the key to change. Knowledge is power. Within the opportunity to receive a higher education, I realize the obstacles of my life will become less and less complex. I have the power to create long-lasting solutions to problems which have become epidemics, which is precisely what I plan to base my life around. My future goals in terms of service is to build a family for children in need of one. Not an orphanage or a group home, but to bring together individuals who love and care for each other, the kind of family which turns a house into a home. From having been raised in state's custody, I have personal experience with many failures, and this felling system is what has inspired me to set this goal. Although this may sound like a bit of a utopia, the reality is that the children of today are the future. There are many children who are capable of making a major contribution to society, but instead live their daily lives coping with trauma and abuse. My goal is to prevent children from experiencing a traumatic life, providing a nurturing environment, allowing them the opportunity to change the world as it is today. So thank you so much for providing this scholarship and continuing my education and giving me the key to make a big difference in the world.
Thank you, Victoria. And now we're going to hear from Ben Cortez with the Salt Lake School for the Performing Arts. This is the first male speaker we've got. Way to go, Ben. And it looks like the only, because West has a lady. All right.
Hello, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm Ben Cortez, senior for the Salt Lake School for the Performing Arts, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Many people think that in order to make a difference, inspire change, or truly immerse yourself in service, you have to completely step out of your environment and go someplace new. To some, this might be the ideal and exactly what they need in order to fully immerse themselves in their work. But it is not exactly necessary, and certainly not the only option. Many people also think of operating through large businesses or corporations. These are also excellent choices, and they do amazing work. However, the kind of service I wish to address today is the simplest kind. I believe that service is a lifestyle. People who think that service is a future cut out only for those passive in heart don't understand what service is. Service is not passive. It is active. It is engaging. It is the constant, diligent search for need and the courage and self-awareness to think to yourself, I can help them. Service is not subjecting yourself to someone. It is not raising yourself above someone. It is leveling the playing ground and addressing someone's needs, their wants, and their desires on an individual level. I believe in the tiniest acts of service. Put simply, giving someone and everyone the time of day. Sorry, excuse me. It is noticing your neighbor put up a for sale sign in front of their home and offering your assistance in helping them move into their new house. It is addressing someone as an individual person and not as an obstacle, competitor, or opposer. Service is loving. Service is progressive. It is us and not I. This scholarship that I am both grateful and humbled to receive has fired my enthusiasm and fueled my optimism for a bright future, one that I hope to fill with a lifestyle of service. I am hoping to study to become a surgeon and dedicate myself to both my family, my fellow man, every day. Because that's what life's about. We're all aspiring, we're all struggling, and because of that, we should be helping each other achieve, so that as families, as communities, as countries, and as a species, we can move to our highest potential. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. And now we're going to hear from our final student speaker, Eliza Assay from West High School. There you are. Thanks.
Yes, I am a lady. And it's nice to be here. I'm Eliza, or Scout is what I typically go by, and I'm from West. There is a place 6 hours drive from this hotel, and I consider it home. It's a dry, dusty, census-designated place called Montezuma Creek, probably one of the driest areas in the entire state. Montezuma Creek is on the res, as the Navajo Nation's reservation is called locally. 95% of its 500 people are Navajo, and I've met well over half of them in the relatively short time I've spent there. How can a place you've known for a blink of an eye become something so monumental? Let me present a sequence to you. First, Gave. An older friend that I went to school with invited me to volunteer at his summer math and science camp, and I accepted. That was 3 years ago, and every summer since then, I have spent a week in Montezuma Creek teaching math, science, art, and PE courses at Camp Einstein from 8 to 12 to elementary school-aged children there. Then I received. Thing is, after teaching in the morning, which is a gift unto itself, I spent the rest of the day on excursions with Navajo friends learning about folk tales and current issues for indigenous populations, and participating in frivolous activities like baking and bowling with the res friends I've made. Well, that's swell, Scout, but is that really such a great gift? Just because after my first summer on the res, I decided I knew where I wanted to focus my career. I have accepted a place at BYU, and this fall I will join the anthropology department. Why? Because there was a bug in Montezuma Creek that I needed to catch. I needed to be introduced to Navajo cooking and reservation politics and Anasazi ruins to know how much I appreciated each of those things. So yeah, it is a big deal that the people in the res cared enough to talk and to hike with me, try to teach me how to cook Navajo fry bread, and be my confidants. Their service to me opened up a world of possibility, unlike any I had known before. Present tense, I'm giving back with 3 times the fervor because I care deeply for the people I have met and the community they live in. I have a keen interest in the opportunities and realities facing the Navajo population, and I want any contact possible as soon as possible. June can't possibly come quickly enough. And that's how the service cycle rolls. You give, and then you receive, so that you can give back 10 times more. You can do anything. I find that even when I'm not particularly excited about the work, I do it enthusiastically, because I am psyched about the people. For me, that's what service is about. Willingness to do work that is oftentimes out of your depth. But you do it anyway, because you know it just might benefit others. By this definition, service can mean immense self-sacrifice. I have learned to be content with this. After all, I know that when I do not reach out, work hard, and serve, I feel uncomfortable with who I am. I am constantly learning that it is never a waste to do what you can. I don't know personally where I will be in 4, 5, 6 years, and my bet's on the fact that you don't either. However, I do know that I will be working in such a way that it serves others. I will use my degree that this will help fund to help others, because that's when I'm happy, and that's when others are happy. And if I'm lucky, I'll visit Montezuma Creek often and nurture the relationships that I've really only just started. So congratulations to all of you, and may we make the best of this opportunity. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. I just don't think it's possible to listen to these amazing students and their stories and not come away with some sense of hope for the future of our world. Because as one of them said, they are our future. So thank you all so much for your thoughtful comments. I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to thank my co-chair, Tim Brown. He's not able to be here today as he had a meeting come up last minute that he could not miss for his support of this process. I also want to give a big thank you to Brett Sutherland's company, who donated the printing of the programs today and the certificates that students will receive. So thank you so much, Brett. There you are. And I'd like to thank our committee for all of their hard work in making the very tough decisions that they had to make amongst the stellar students that we interviewed. You have to understand that the students who were awarded the scholarships and then the ones you heard speak were the ones selected out of a much larger pool. And I interviewed at 2 of the schools, and they were all like this. It was really hard to make the decision. So thank you, committee members. I'd like to thank the Salt Lake Rotary Board for their consistent support of this cause, and the Salt Lake Rotary Foundation for supporting us in the future by allowing us to recognize the students in this way. The Rotary District Foundation, who also gave funds to us this year, as well as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Foundation, and fellow Rotarian Roland Braddock, who also gave us a grant. I know Roland is here. There he is. Thank you so much, Roland. We again had an anonymous donor this year match half of the total grant from the Salt Lake City Rotary Foundation, which is the lion's share of this award, which enabled us to increase the amount of money that we had to give away by 60%. After all of the funds were compiled, this year we awarded $42,000 to 23 students from all those sources. So thank you for everyone. And some of the students may know this, some may not, but I'd like to thank John Ashton and the University of Utah Alumni Association for their gracious match and additional scholarships for our recipients. If the student chooses to attend the University of Utah, the University of Utah Alumni Association will give them a $1,000 scholarship as well. So thank you so much to you for doing that. Finally, I'd like to thank all of the Rotarians in Club 24. Each of you have made this possible. And I'd like to extend an invitation to all of our guests today, both the students and the parents, to get involved in Rotary. As an adult, you can join one of the many clubs in the state. There's our club, which is Club 24. There's the Rotary Club of Sugar House, Midvale, Murray. They're all over. And for the students, I would recommend seeking out the Rotaract Club at the colleges where you will be attending. And if one doesn't exist, then you can start one. Just a little housekeeping. We're going to have the students come up, and at this table here, I have listed alphabetically by the student's last name, regardless of their school. They're just alphabetical A to Z. There's a certificate in there, and then there are the letters, very important letters on how to obtain the scholarship funding. So key that you pick that up and do what is asked of you. And then if you are attending the U, there's a little bit more additional information to get that extra $1,000. And you can have photos taken with our president is in Europe, but our president-elect, Floyd is here, there's other members of the Rotary Board, myself, if you want to take pictures with the students and us, or if you just want to take pictures of your students, you can do that here. Students, if you haven't signed the Franklin Elementary book that Brett was passing around, please, here it is, please do so. We give a book to our adopted school, Franklin Elementary, after every Tuesday luncheon, and all the students signed this one, so we'll be giving that one to them. And I would like to end with a couple of quotes. One of them, which I just love, is from the late Larry H. Miller, and I've heard his widow, Gail, say this many times. His favorite phrase was, "Do good until there's no more good left to do." And I just think that's absolutely fabulous, and that is their philosophy today. They're amazing philanthropists in this community. And then my favorite quote is from Winston Churchill, and he said, "We make a living by what we get, and we make a life by what we give." So again, thank you all very much, and students, come over here to get your certificates. And I think John has a couple of closing remarks about next week.
For me as well too, and Safia touched on the Rotary Act and things like that. I want to make sure that you were aware of. It's great. I think we took another hour to have the other two from each school speak. Everyone's willing to stick around. We're on a tight schedule, but we would love to hear from the rest of you. We're grateful for the things that you're doing. I know that you'll be able to excel at what you set out to do. So thank you for being here. So the book for Franklin Elementary